Luangwa Valley and the Kafue landscape in Zambia offers the last remaining free-range, raw experience of the outdoor safari. It's the only place you're going to find that 1950s experience again. Your hunting experience here in Luangwa or anywhere in Zambia with epic safaris is going to be one that brings you back to, the primal times of Africa, where you are in the wildlife's habitat. You are a second-class citizen. I'm Chris Fisher. I'm one of the PHs for Epic Safaris and Kavango Safaris. This is the last wilderness. This is the last frontier. You are in areas that are untouched. The Luangwa Valley and the Kafue landscape in Zambia offers the last remaining free-range, raw experience of the outdoor safari. Where you can walk through the bush and see game, not necessarily hunting all of it, but you're going to see buffalo, you're going to pass buffalo up. You're going to have choices at different kinds of buffalo, different ages, different shapes. You're going to see elephant while you're going along. You're going to see lion while you're driving around. And you're not going to see that anywhere else. You're not going to see that in the game ranches in South Africa. You're not going to see that in the game ranches of Namibia. If you do, the lions have just been placed there specifically for it. It's a very different feel. The Luangwa landscape. Your main species here that are only endemic to this area is Cook's wildebeest. You can't get them anywhere else. They're only endemic, not only endemic to Zambia, but only endemic to the Luangwa landscape. And this GMA probably has one of the highest numbers of them. There's a lot of kakulis, or what is also known as daga boys. So your old males that have left the herds. Lion, extremely good population of lion here. Leopard high densities. Luangwa Valley as a whole has the highest density of leopard pretty much anywhere in the world. Elephant, beautiful ivory here. Long, thin, not necessarily the highest poundage, but some of the prettiest ivory you'll find is in North Luangwa. Epic. Its aim is to provide a customized safari with a luxury feel that is still rustic. So your camps have a blend of rustic and comfort at the same time, and it's incredible food, incredible experiences. You're going to arrive in Lusaka and you're either going to charter into the strip, there's a strip here in Chifunda, or you are going to arrive in Mfui International Airport. If you arrive in Mfui, you've got a long drive ahead of you. It's a long ways into the wild from Mfui, so you're looking at a 6-7 hour drive from Mfui, or you're looking at a 2-hour charter from Lusaka to arrive here. As soon as you get to the airstrip, you have an hour drive to camp. It's a priority of ours to make sure we know what the client wants. Obviously, it's the wild, what it gives you, you take. But we will start planning the safari immediately, scouting for the priority species and seeing what we find along the way. The adrenaline of stalking buffalo, when you're breaking that distance from 100 yards down to 60 yards, you can hear the client's heart pounding behind you. You can hear his breath. The buck fever, the experience in getting a good old animal, an old kakuli, an old worn kudu with secondary growth, an old worn roan with secondary growth, that's what the experience is about. And then enjoying the whole experience from, the tracker's excitement at the kill, that's what we're about. There's so much more to a trophy than its measurement, its age, its character, its, how worn and gnarly the horns are. That is never taken into account by a tape measure. The client's safety is paramount, which is why it's It's been a priority for Epic and the companies Epic is working with in Zambia to look for PHs that have got credible experience and have safety as their priority. They'll always make sure they're not going to take you into a situation which they can't back out of. Around camp as well, in the evenings, there's good lighting in the paths to your tents, and there's always someone available to take you, either a PH or a camp staff, to take you back and forth to your tents. There is hippo around, there's elephant around, and you just got to make sure and be conscious of them, but there's always someone to keep you safe. Many times I've had it when you're stalking buffalo and all of a sudden you're not the only hunter. You come across lion who are hunting the same buffalo, and you've got to be careful. But these are the things you have to keep in mind. There's elephant around every corner. Many times we've been walking through the bush and you're busy tracking a buffalo and you take a bend around the bush and there's a huge elephant that's sitting in the shade or standing in the shade under a tree, and you'll be so shocked how close you can come to those animals even though they're so vast without seeing them. And these are the key things that you have to keep in mind, but they're also what make the experience so real and raw. We're never going to put you in a situation that we feel is unmanageable. Hunting in these remaining wildernesses in Africa, you have to understand the hunting dynamic is old school, but it's complex. It's a government area, so these are government leases, so you've got to have a government scout with you, and you're going to have at least one tracker with you. You're going to have a client, and you're going to have a PH. Majority of tribes in Zambia all have an intrinsic tracking skill. From time immemorial, whether they were hunter-gatherers or from looking after cattle as kids or looking after livestock, they are extremely well versed in the bush. They have a natural ability to track that only builds with time. And most of these trackers have started in their teens and 20s, and they've been in the industry for 20 years, 15 years. They'll notice stuff that no one else will. They will see a track where most people are looking for an entire footprint on the ground, whereas they're just looking for a scuff on a piece of old clay or a slightly broken twig or a line of pushed over grass in the dew. And those are the things that the client should try and enjoy learning about those things, because a lot of Western clients have lost this ability. They've lost the ability to see the sign that is not visible. They're looking for, the standard track on the ground or something that's obvious. And that's only very rarely is that available for you to see. Being as these are the last remaining wildernesses, especially Chifunda, you will find very few places in Africa that have this kind of quantity of wildlife, vast space. I mean, you have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of hectares of untouched wilderness, but it is intermingled with the community, which does give you the community vibe, which Epic is making sure they involve the community in doing very good meat runs, fresh meat runs, making sure the community is getting dividends, making sure the community is getting benefits, to try and get the community to understand the value of the wildlife they have, so that these areas can stay as remote and majestic as they always were. So the community blends in as opposed to takes over the area. Once you've harvested an animal here with Epic, the importance is getting the meat delivered to the community as fast as possible so that it's fresh. There are a lot of outfits that dry all the meat and hand it in stages or hand it towards the end of each safari. Epic is endeavoring to do the opposite. They are trying to get the community what they want, which is fresh meat immediately. So your animal will be brought back to camp or skinned in the field. The trophy will be brought back, the meat will immediately turn around in the meat delivery vehicle and go to the villages and split according to the CRB and the government liaisons requirements to each village, so that there's a good share across all villages of the meat, and it will be delivered fresh as fast as possible. A lot of clients get emotional when they see, some of the destitute poverty that's around these areas, and a lot of people are so happy to see that the game goes so far, and how many people gain and how many people eat protein, which is, it's a commodity that's so rare around here. Good protein is just not available. So every time a hippo is shot, every time a buffalo is shot, every time a wildebeest is shot, there's hundreds of people that benefit from each animal. It's fantastic that clients get to see it, and they get, the joy they get from seeing that the animal they've harvested and the experience they've got doesn't end in them taking home a wonderful trophy. They get to see the communities benefit from the meat, and kids have protein that they otherwise wouldn't have available to them. Your skin will then be immediately salted and prepared for dip and pack. All of that will happen here at camp, and dip and pack will happen in Lusaka with the chosen exporter. So your trophy will be brought back to camp, the skin will be salted and dried, your skull will be cleaned and boiled, and everything will be tagged. Then it will move to Lusaka, where it will go to the taxidermist, who will continue the cleaning process and get it ready for Fish and Wildlife standards to be then exported back to the States. The thing that's special about Epic is it's not attempting to utilize its quota to the fullest capacity. It's not attempting to utilize the area to the fullest extent. You must harvest 60% of your quota in Zambia in a GMA, but you don't have to harvest 100%. And Epic doesn't want to do that. Epic wants to harvest good game and make sure that the quantities of game stay healthy and sustainable for the long run. Epic's idea is to make these GMAs, these last remaining wildernesses, be here for generations to come, so that our children can still be here to enjoy this, while in many other areas of the world, including Africa, or specifically Africa, these areas they're dwindling fast, and this kind of safari is what's keeping it alive.